DepEd matatag, bansang makabata, batang makabansa. Hello students, welcome to Grade 10 Science Lesson. I am your teacher once again, Sir Darrell Villorente. Prior to our lesson about chemical reactions, you have learned about the law of conservation of mass, which means that the mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of the product, wherein the mass is neither created nor destroyed in chemical reactions. That's why whatever the mass we have in the reactants, after the chemical reaction, it is still the same, which falls under the product of the chemical reaction. After knowing the law of conservation of mass, the evidences of chemical reactions, the next question would be, what are the factors that affects the rate of chemical reactions? And how are chemical reactions applied in our daily life? Let's find out in today's lesson. And this would be our last topic for the fourth quarter. The title of our lesson for today is Chemical Reactions, Factors Affecting Chemical Reactions. There are factors that affect the rate of chemical reactions. That's why a chemical reactions could be successful or unsuccessful. Because of those factors, chemical reactions occurs at different rates. First thing we need to consider before knowing the factors affecting the chemical reactions is the concept about the collision theory. According to the collision theory, it explains how collision between reactant molecules may or may not result in a successful chemical reactions. It explains how particles or atoms that makes up an element or substances that involves in chemical reactions collide with one another. This explains the collision theory. Based on collision theory, there are two conditions for an effective collision. The first is the colliding molecules should possess a minimum kinetic energy to start a chemical reactions. Definitely. So before a chemical reactions really takes place, an energy is said to be required. But what is this energy that is needed to start the chemical reaction? This energy that is required is what we call an activation energy. This minimum kinetic energy that is required to start a reaction and force the reactants to form an activated complex by introducing heat or increasing the temperature of the reactants. So it is very important before the chemical reaction takes place to have an activation energy. Because remember, this activation energy can be in the form of number one, introduction of heat or heat is applied to an object. Number two is it can also increase the temperature of the reactants. On these concepts, since when the temperature is increased, definitely the movements of the molecules will become faster. So there would be a colliding between those atoms or molecules involving in the chemical reactions. The second condition would be the reactant should be in the correct orientation when they collide. So the orientation is very important. If these two conditions are met, there will be a successful chemical reactions. Okay? So the orientation of the reactants and how the molecules collide with one another are very important in terms of the collision theory. In order to speed up the chemical reaction, we also use a catalyst. Remember, a catalyst is a substance that can be added to a chemical reaction to increase the reaction rate without getting consumed in the process. So remember, it increases the reaction rate without getting consumed in the process. So in our illustration, for the chemical reaction, a catalyst can be illustrated by means of an arrow and there is a triangle or what we call the delta sign above on it. So meaning to say, a substance is introduced as a catalyst. An example is the decomposition of this hydrogen peroxide with a symbol of H2O2 and water. Notice the presence of the catalyst. The presence of the catalyst, which is the manganese oxide. This manganese oxide speeds up the decomposition reaction. So out of the 6 major types of reaction, we all know that this is an example of decomposition, the opposite of the synthesis or combination reaction, wherein we're going to split the elements or the substances involved in just one pack of it, which is hydrogen peroxide. So para mapabilis ang kanilang paghihiwalay, gumamit tayo ng catalyst. At ano yon? Yan ang tinatawag nating manganese dioxide. There are also other catalysts that can be used in chemical reaction. The first would be enzymes. Enzymes are proteins that act as a catalyst in biochemical reactions. So that is our discussion from the module 1, which is the proteins. Examples of proteins are the enzymes. Another one is, for example, the amylase. The amylase breakdowns the starches into simple sugar. Okay, hinihiwalay niya para mas maging maliit. Bakit sir hinihiwalay? Para mas maging makonsume kaagad yung substances or nutrients na meron ng isang pagkain. So the enzymes helps to break down those starches into simple sugar. Another catalyst that can be used would be an acid-base catalyst. A good example is the use of sulfuric acid in the decomposition of sugar, which is sucrose into glucose and fructose. Okay, that is an acid-base catalyst. We are using sulfuric acid. Another catalyst is the heterogeneous catalyst. For example, the catalyst might be in the solid phase, while the reactants are in a liquid or gas phase. An example of heterogeneous and surface catalyst is the Ziegler-Natta catalyst. What is this? They are used to make everything from plastic wrap to other forms of plastics. So, the Ziegler-Natta catalyst is used to make a plastic. So, lahat ng plastic bag, sando bag, so on and so forth. Okay? So, that is an example of a product wherein they use a catalyst known as the heterogeneous catalyst. So, remember those example of catalysts: enzymes, acid-base, and heterogeneous catalysts. Now, let's proceed with our lesson proper, wherein we're going to talk about the common factors that affect the rate of chemical reactions. So there are 4 major factors that affecting the rate of chemical reaction. Number 1, we have change in temperature, reactant concentration or the number of reactants, particle size and surface, and the 4th one would be the use of catalysts. Chemical reactions can occur at different rates depending on multiple factors. So one of the most significant factors that affects the chemical reaction is the temperature. A rise in temperature increases the kinetic energy of the molecules. Siyempre naman, mataas ang temperature. So ano mangyayari? So magiging mabilis ang paggalaw ng mga molecules, allowing them to move faster and collide with greater force. So kapag mataas ang temperature, mas magiging mabilis ang tinatawag nating chemical reactions. On the other hand, A decrease in temperature slows down the reaction rate since the molecules have less kinetic energy to collide with each other. So, mas mabilis kapag mas mainit at mas mabagal kapag mas malamig. So, that is temperature. Number two, another factors would be the concentration of reactants also plays in the role on the rate of chemical reactions. If the concentration of reactants is high, then there are more molecules to collide with each other, leading to a faster reaction rate. Conversely, a lower concentration of reactants leads to a slower reaction rates. Kumbaga, higher concentration, lower concentrations. Kumbaga sa alcohol, halimbawa, meron tayong tinatawag na mga percentage. So, anong pinaka-the best na example ng alcohol na mas madaling makapatay ng bacteria sa ating mga hands kapag ginamit? Is it the 90 to 70%? Or yung 40% na may halong tubig. So, higher concentration, syempre, leads to a faster reaction and it benefits us. Pero kapag mas mababa ang concentration and then mas mababa ang rate ng chemical reactions. Okay? That would be. So, after knowing the temperature and the reactants concentration, let's proceed with the particle size and the surface. So, it also affects the rate of chemical reactions. Smaller particles have a larger surface area, which increases the number of collisions between reactant molecules. As a result, the reaction rate is faster when the particle size is smaller. Natural. Mas magiging mabilis kung sila ay mas maliliit at mas kung ito ay mas malalaki. Siyempre, mas mabagal ang chemical reaction. Kumbaga sa isang pag ikaw ay nagluluto, ano mas madaling lumambot? Kumbaga sa isang gulay. Ito ba yung paghahati o pagchachop ng malalaking chunks o paghahati kapag ito ay maliliit? So, mas madaling mapalambot kapag ito ay maliliit kumpara sa kung malalaki. Because the size of the reactants or the substance involved in the chemical reactions affect the rate of the chemical reactions. I hope I make myself clear. Next would be the usage of the catalyst. Okay, so the catalyst facilitate the chemical reaction without being consumed. Okay, hindi siya mismong sumasama doon, kundi ginagamit lang siya. Okay, kaya nga without being consumed. So what do? They decrease the activation energy required for the reaction to proceed, resulting in a faster reaction rate. Since meron tayong activation energy, hindi niya na kinakailangan, okay, ng mas maraming activation energy. Okay? Catalysts speed up the chemical reaction by increasing the frequency of collision between reactant molecules. That's why catalyst is very important. Also, but it is not applicable to all kinds of substances that undergoes a chemical reactions, because some can result in a good or positive or negative way. In summary, temperature, reactant concentration, particle size and surface area, and the use of the catalyst all affect the rate of chemical reactions. So, apat lang yon. So, understanding these factors can help us control and optimize chemical reactions for various applications in industry, medicine, and daily life. After knowing the different factors affecting the chemical reactions, the next big question is, what are the effects of chemical reactions and why they need to be controlled? Because, just like what I've told you, there would always be two sides of effects. It can be good, it could be bad, not only to you, but also to our surrounding. So, one effect of chemical reaction is in terms of food preservations, production of materials, control of fire, pollution, and corrosions. So we will only tackle 5 effects of chemical reactions. I will repeat: food preservation, production of materials, control of fire, pollution, and corrosion. In food preservation, unahin muna natin to. An increase in temperature typically increase the rate of reactions. Gaya ng sinabi natin, pag mataas ang temperature, mas mataas ang chemical reaction. So anong gagawin? Anong gagawin? Hindi to maganda para sa mga pagkain na meron tayo sa bahay. Halimbawa, nag-grocery ka. Mataas ang temperature lalo na ngayong summer. Summer season, sabi nila, but there is no such as summer, it is only dry season. Okay? Dahil napaka taas ng heat index or temperature, ano mangyayari sa mga pagkain na meron tayo? So, bibilis ang process ng chemical reaction. Hindi naman maganda yon. Siyempre, hindi mo naman kailangan i-consume lahat yon agad-agad ng isang araw o dalawang araw. Okay? So, yung minsan, yung iba ay may tinatagal yan. Okay? Pinatatagal or pinipreserve natin yan o iniimbak sa ating bahay. So, paano ang gagawin? That's why narito o nauso ang tinatawag nating appliances na refrigerator. So, refrigerator helps to preserve our perishable foods. Perishable. Okay? We place it in the refrigerator. Ito yung mga pagkain na madaling mapanis, madaling mabulok, o mabilis ang kanilang process ng chemical reaction. So, anong ginagawa sa mga pagkain na yon? Ang mga yon ay nilalagay sa refrigerator. Kasi alam natin, kapag mas mababa ang temperature, according to the factors affecting chemical reactions, mas mababagal ang process ng chemical reaction. So, hindi ito madaling mabulok o madaling mapanis kapag ito ay nasa loob ng refrigerator. Okay? Sana malinaw yon. Paano sir pag walang refrigerator? Huwag kang mag-alala. Baka next time meron na. Okay? Because the presence of light influences number of chemical reactions that lead to the spoilage of food. Okay? Para naman sa mga dry goods or dry products, may mga pagkain gaya ng mga to. Okay? Gaya ng mga to. Okay, anong ginagamit nila para mas madali o mas ma-prevent nila ang mabilis na process ng chemical reactions dahil sa mataas na temperature. So, they have different packaging. The use of packaging material that prevents exposure to light is one of the most effective means of preventing the light-induced chemical spoilage. Okay, for example, itong Milo, itong Nescafe, kung bubuksan nyo yan, hindi lang siya ordinaryong plastic at hindi siya transparent. Most of them are colored. At kapag titignan mo pa sa loob, yan ay may parang silver foil. Okay, meron pa yung silver foil in additional protections against the spoilage or madaling pagkasira ng pagkain due to the high temperature. Okay? Kaya wag tayong magtataka kung yung mga high-end products na pinipreserve natin, ganun na lang siya. Okay? Or else, madali siyang masisira. Another one is the ethylene. A ripening hormone produced by the plants plays a major role in the ripening process. So it is very important to separate the ripened fruits to slow down the ripening of other fruits. So kung ikaw ay mag-iimbak ng isang prutas, kapag alam mong hinog na ito, syempre ito ay madali na mabulok, kaya dapat alam ng isang magsasaka kung kailan ito ay mahihinog at ito ay sineseparate na, or else baka ito ay magdelikado pa at makahawa pa ng iba. Okay? Yan. At anong dahilan doon? Yan ang ating ethylene. In the production of materials, it is very important to make sure the products containing chemicals are stored in a place away from any source of light like the sun. Kaya makakakita kayo ng ganitong mga warning or caution. Ibig sabihin, kapag tinamaan ng sinag ng araw, ay maaaring makaapekto sa content ng isang substance. Pwedeng mapabilis o pwedeng mapabagal ang o madaling masira ang isang product na yon. Kaya dapat may nakalagay doon, do not expose this to extreme heat or light. Okay, may mga ganong caution. Kaya itilalagay siya sa isang cabinet kung saan normal ang kanilang room temperature. Pero kung ito ay nakabalandra sa labas ng bahay, mataas ang temperature at mainit, natural, madaling masisira 'yon. Okay? Lalo na sa mga pagkain. Kaya there's always a guideline. So do not expose to direct sunlight, lalo na ang ating mga gamot. Kaya ang mga gamot ay hindi pwedeng ibinibilad yan or else masisira siya, mawawala ng bisa. Okay? So products like medicines, sprays, or lab chemicals must be handled properly and carefully follow the directions on how to safely store them. This will prevent accidents from happening. Yung kakailanganin mo na siya pero yung pala panis na siya o nasira na yung gamot na yon. So sayang yung binili mo lalo na kung ito ay napaka-mahal. Yung pala na nabilad sa araw, hindi siya na magiging effective. Kaya most of that, ng mga medicines or mga vitamins, nilalagay yan sa refrigerator, sa pinaka-lower, lower portion, hindi dun mismo sa freezer. Okay? Yan. Now, another one is to control the fire. Okay, so o pagkakaroon ng apoy. Paano ba nagkakaroon ng apoy? O tinatawag nating fire in a larger use o tinatawag nating sunog. To control the fire, remember the 3 important ingredients. So meron pala tayong 3 ingredients. Sir, ano-ano yung mga ingredients na yun? Number 1, energy. Okay, the energy could be in the form of heat. Ano ba sir ang heat? Init sir. Heat is a byproduct of any energy transformations. Okay, kapag nag-transform ang isang one form of energy to another form of energy, ano ang byproduct nun? Yan, ang byproduct nun ay heat. Dapat may init. Heat in a form of thermal energy. Another one, aside from energy, we have the fuel. Ano yung mga example ng fuel? In the form of wood or paper. Okay, pwedeng kahoy o pwedeng papel. Okay. Pangatlo, ano pang meron? Oxygen. So, these 3 are said to be very important in productions of fire. Okay? There should be an energy, there should be a fuel, and there should be an oxygen. So, if you're going to mix them together, you are creating a fire. Paano sir pag wala yung isa, yung energy? Eh di walang fire. Paano sir pag walang oxygen? Hindi ka makakapag-create ng fire. Okay? Kasi ganito ang sistema niyan. The energy can be transferred to the fuel or to the oxygen. This causes the fuel and oxygen to mix, creating a fire. Kaya tingnan nyo ang arrow. Yung energy papunta sa fuel, pwedeng papunta sa fuel directly, or pwedeng yung energy in the form of oxygen. Doon ka agad. So yung heat na yon, magko-contact lang sa oxygen, okay, yung heat na yon pupunta sa papel. Okay, pag pinag-mix mo yung pag nagkaroon ng ganon, pag pinag-mix mo yung fuel at saka oxygen, natural, ito ay masusunog. Okay? So that is the production of fire. Remember that you cannot make fire if one of these ingredients is missing. Gaya ng sinasabi ko, pag nawala ang isa sa mga yan, hindi tayo magkakaroon ng fire. So, anong ginagawa? So, halimbawa, pag may sunog, covering a pan on fire will prevent the entry of oxygen, thus controlling the fire or the use of a fire extinguisher. Kaya kapag may sunog, halimbawa, pag ikaw yung nagluluto, anong ginagawa? Tinatakpan, hindi ka agad nilalagyan ng tubig. So, kung meron kang takip, ilalagay mo yon. Bakit mo ilalagay? Kasi, bakit mo ilalagay yung pinakatakip? Okay, para makontrol mo yung sunog. Okay, para makontrol mo yung sunog. Bakit? Kasi nga, pine-prevent mo yung pagpasok ng oxygen. Sir, nakikita po ba ang oxygen? No, it is present in the Earth's atmosphere. So, pag tinaklob mo yon, wala nang papasok ng oxygen, titigil ang pagkakaroon ng sunog. Hanggang sa ito ay mamatay ng tuluyan. Okay? Ang kinocontain mo na lang doon ay carbon dioxide. Okay. Paano naman, sir, ang fire extinguisher? In a fire extinguisher, it uses a heavy gas such as carbon dioxide that replaces oxygen. So yung carbon dioxide na present sa isang fire extinguisher, syempre, ino-overlap niya yung dami ng oxygen na present sa isang area or sa isang substance. Halimbawa, yung isang object na susunog, maraming oxygen yon. Okay, maraming oxygen. Kung may fire extinguisher ka, so mas marami ang carbon dioxide na nare-release. When the carbon dioxide is greater than the oxygen, ibig sabihin merong may matatalo doon. Pag natalo yun, ibig sabihin mawawala ang sunog. Okay? Mawawala ang fire. Ino-overcome natin yung dami ng oxygen sa isa pang substance katulad ng carbon dioxide. Okay? So, ganun sa tinatawag nating fire. Next is pollution. Pollution. We have different types of pollution in our environment. Water pollution, air pollution, and land pollution. And sa mga iba't ibang klase ng pollution na to, nagkakaroon tayo ng chemical reactions. So for example, water pollution. How can we create a water pollution? O sinisira o pinadudumi ang ating tubig. So different chemical reactions are happening on this different type of pollution that can release and that causes this what we call harmful gases, just like and can cause an acid rain. Okay? Dahil sa pagkakaroon ng pollution, okay, dadami ang mga harmful gases. At pag nagsama-sama itong mga harmful gases na to, katulad ng CO2, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, okay, sulfur oxide, pag nagsama-sama yung mga yan, at nasuspended sa air, pag nagkaroon ng ulan, ito ay babagsak. Ang ulan, dapat natural na hindi siya natural na ulan, kundi ito ay parang asido. Okay? Parang asido na siyang sumisira sa mga vehicle. Okay? Siyempre, sila ito natamaan. Hindi lang vehicle, land area. Anong meron silang land area? Puno, halaman, at kung ano-ano pa. Okay? Yung typical rain, okay lang, it nourishes. Pero kapag nagkaroon ng mga bad effects or side effects sa isang halaman, ibig sabihin, yung ulan na tumama doon ay hindi lang simpleng ulan, kundi isang uri ng ulan na tinatawag nating acid rain. Na ang acid rain ay ang pinagsama-samang mga harmful gases dala ng pollution. Okay? So, here are the common effects of acid rain. Una, anong epekto ng acid rain na yan? Siyempre, mamamatay ang mga halaman. Bakit? It removes the minerals and nutrients from the soil that trees needs to grow. Siyempre, hindi lang dun sa puno mismo. Siyempre, ang pinaka-target niyan, siyempre, bumabagsak ito sa lupa. Sa nakatanim ang mga puno. Siyempre, sa lupa. Anong ginagawa? Pinapatay niya, inaalis niya ang mga nutrients and minerals na meron sa soil. Pag nawala yon, ano pang sisipsipin ng mga halaman? Kung hindi, wala na. Kung hindi, ang mga pinaka-worst thing is mamamatay ang mga puno at mga halaman. Okay? So, water pollution and then land pollution na yun kasi nasisira na. Okay. Acid rain also contains nitrogen and this can have an impact on some ecosystem. For example, yung tinatawag nating nitrogen pollution in our coastal water is partially responsible for declining fish and shellfish population in some areas. So dahil sa dumami ang nitrogen gas sa isang area, naging dahilan ito para mamatay din ang mga hayop na meron sa ating mga dagat o anyong tubig katulad ng mga nabanggit katulad lawa, ilog, okay? Ito ay nagdadala para mamatay ang iba't ibang klase ng yamang tubig. Okay? And the last one would be the dry deposition. Ano ibig sabihin ng dry deposition? Sometimes, dust particles can become acidic as well as this is called dry deposition. Okay? Nagiging acidic din pala ang mga dust. Okay? Maging din ang acid rain. At kapag ito ay tumama sa mga statue o mga imahe na gaya nito na gawa sa bato, The acid particles corrode the metal and causes the paint and stone to deteriorate more quickly. So pinabibilis ang pagkakaroon ng o pagkasira ng mga statue na yan. They also dirty some surfaces of buildings and other structures such as monuments o yung mga monumento. Kaya ngayon, ang mga monumento ay hindi lang basta-basta gawa sa bato at ito ay pinipinturahan. Kung hindi, ina-upgrade na nila kasi nga meron tayong tinatawag na acid rains na nagpupulyot at nagkukos ng deterioration ng quality ng isang monument. O kaya nagkakaroon ng mga dilaw-dilaw, mga amag or fungi and other stuff. The last would be corrosion or kalawang. So kalawang usually red to red-orange. Anong dahilan ng pagkakaroon ng kalawang? Kalawang is corrosion because of oxidation. Oxidation is defined as a corrosion reaction in which the corroded metal forms an oxide or iron oxide. Oxidation happens because of the direct chemical reaction of the oxygen gas in the atmosphere with the metal surfaces. So, ibig sabihin, itong oxygen na present sa atmosphere ay nakipag-tied up na naman sa mga metal. At nang ito ay pumunta sa mga metal, ano nangyari? Nagkaroon ng kalawang. At ano ang tawag sa kalawang in English? Rust or rusting. Anong tawag sa process? Corrosion, yung unti-unting pagkakabakbak. Okay, anong ang tawag sa rusting? Metal oxide. Take note also that this reaction increases with temperature. So pag mataas ang temperature, mas mabilis ang pagkakaroon ng kalawang. At madali itong masisira hanggang sa ito maging marupok o brittle at masisira ng tuluyan ang kalawang. To prevent metals from rusting, ano kayang gagawin para ma-prevent from rusting? So ang ginagawa ay, ito ay pinipinturahan lahat ng bakal. Okay? Pero may mga iba't ibang klase ng bakal na ginawa para ma-prevent ang mga pagkakaroon ng rusting. Okay? Yan, may mga bakal na kaso mahal nga lang yun. Pero kung ikaw ay magtatayo ng bahay at gusto mamura-mura, syempre, subject for kalawang, halimbawa sa bubong, anong gagamitin? Okay? So, yun ay subject sa kalawang, kaya ito ay pinipinturahan, pati mga gate, and etc. Oxidation occurs due to the direct chemical reaction of oxygen gas in the atmosphere with metal surfaces forming metal oxide. Okay? That's why the usage of lubricants, oils, and other stuff, even paints, are used to slow down the rate of the chemical reactions that happens once the oxygen made a contact with the metal or magkakaroon ng rusting. Kaya ito sila ay pinipinturahan. So, understanding the factors that affects the rate of chemical reactions will help you comprehend the benefits and the harm caused by some chemical reactions. Kaya dapat natin itong maunawaan. Kasi kumakain tayo ng mga pagkain. Saan natin inalagay? Sa ref. O, chemical reaction na pala yun. Ba't madaling nasira? Ay, chemical reaction pala yun. Kung nalaman sana natin na kapag mainit ay talagang madaling masira, hindi sana na-prevent natin yung pagkasira ng mga pagkain na binili. So, very important pala ang chemical reaction. Ay, mapapabilis pala yung chemical reaction, yung pagkapatay ng ilaw kapag ito'y sinasaraduhan o gumagamit ng fire extinguisher. Now you know. Okay? So, it helps us to prevent from the adverse effects of the chemical reactions. It also benefits us sa pag-consume ng iba't ibang products para mapabilis din ang chemical reaction na nagkayari sa loob ng ating katawan. Now, that ends our topic about the factors affecting chemical reactions. Now we know the different factors affecting the chemical reactions, the benefits, and the harmful effects. That's why it is very important. Okay, not only to us, but also to others and even our environments, our Mother Earth. So before I end my discussion about these chemical reactions, may I leave you a simple quote. Like in chemical reactions, the factors of our lives, temperature, concentration, surface area, can impact the rate at which we progress. But with the right catalyst, we can accelerate our personal growth and reach our full potential. So anong ibig sabihin ng quotes na to para sa inyo at para sa atin? para lalo na sa inyong mga mag-graduate or mag-moving up sa junior high school patungo sa senior high school. This quote draws a parallel between the factors that affect the chemical reactions and our personal lives. Just as temperature, concentration, and surface area can influence the rate at which chemical reaction occurs, various factors can impact the pace at which we progress in life. Meron din palang mga nakakaapekto sa atin at sa inyo, lalo na sa inyong mga pag-aaral. Kayo mismo yung chemical reaction. Ano yung mga nakakaapekto sa inyo? Maaring, ito halimbawa, environment, yung mindset and support system. Nakapaligid kayo, maaring kayo ay naaapektuhan. Maganda ba ang environment nyo? Magulo ba? Maayos ba? Kahit sabihin mong hindi ka naaapektuhan, in some ways naaapektuhan ka. Alam mo, kapag maingay, nakakapag-aral ka ba ng maayos? Kapag puro gulo, makakapag-aral ka ba ng maayos? Makakapag-concentrate ka ba? Pangalawa, tamang mindset sa pag-iisip mo or ating mental states. Sa daming kaguluhan na meron ngayon, naapektuhan ka na ba? Okay? Nakakarindi na ba? Ganyan ba? Mga balita dito, kanan kaliwa, pagbukas mo ng cellphone, ano magiging mindset mo? Positive pa ba ang outlook? Okay? Negative na ba ang outlook dahil sa nangyayaring kaguluhan? Hindi lang sa ating bansa, maging sa ibang bansa. Ano pa? Yung support system. Yung support system, it can either be your friends, your classmates, your teachers, the people around you, especially your parents, your neighbors, your churchmates, nakaka-apekto sila sa'yo. Pwedeng good or pwedeng bad. Nasa sa'yo yun. Sabi nga natin, however, just as a catalyst can speed up a chemical reaction. Ano nang kailangan? Dapat may catalyst. Having the right people or resources in our lives can accelerate our personal growth and help us reach our full potential. Kaya nga, kahit sa mga factors na yon, dapat may catalyst. At dapat dun tayo sa tamang tao. Tamang tao na magdadala sa'yo sa ikabubuti mo para ma-reach mo ang iyong full potential. Kaya for grade 10 students who are graduating from junior high school, this quote is a reminder that they are entering a critical stage of their lives, whether they will face various challenges and opportunities that can shape their future. Just like in chemical reactions, some factors may hinder your progress. Yes, makaka-apekto. Negative beliefs, lack of support, or the wrong environment. However, they can overcome these obstacles. Kaya mo palang mapagtagumpayan by identifying and cultivating their own catalyst for growth. Okay? Pipiliin mo yung mga mahalagang makakatulong sa'yo. It can be a positive role models, mentors, or personal goals. With the right catalyst, they can accelerate their learning, develop their skills, and achieve success in their academic. Kapag pinili mo mga taong makakatulong sa'yo, mentors mo para maabot ang iyong mga goals sa life, hindi lang sa academic ka magtatagumpay, maging din sa personal na buhay. At syempre, huwag mo din kakalimutan na may higit pa sa mga taong tutulong sa'yo. Dilit iba ang ating Panginoon. So God is always there to guide you and to support you. Not only on your ups, but also on your down. To God be all the glory. At syempre, huwag natin kakalimutan, meron tayong quiz. Samahan din na natin checkan, okay? Sagot na lang. Fill in the blank quiz. 1 to 10. Saan ilalagay, sir? Notebook. As we come to the end of this video lecture for grade 10 students regarding the factors that impact chemical reactions, I trust that you have developed a more profound comprehension of the significance of these chemical reactions. I hope that you have found this lesson informative, engaging, covering the topics for benefits and harmful effects of chemical reactions. Thank you for watching, and I am your teacher for grade 10 science. school year 2023-2024, Sir Daryl Villorente, now signing off.